Let's review the Data Quality Dashboard Completeness Score. The UCA Completeness Score is a metric of how much of an entity's chart of accounts maps either into the Office of the State Auditor's Uniform Chart of Accounts, or if it's a school district, the USBE's Chart of Accounts. The score has two components. The first is the percentage of the net amount with a valid UCA score, and the second is the number of invalid UCA codes. The first score measures the amount of monies that have a valid score relative to those that are invalid, and the second score measures the number of those invalid codes. The idea is that if you have more than 20 invalid codes, that's a real problem, even if there's very little money in them, because we don't want any codes that are invalid. Each of these scores is weighted equally, so you can see in this entity, while it has a lot of money that's correctly mapped, it still has over 20 scores that are invalidly mapped. So they're provided a score of 0 for their second score, and thus their completeness score is a 49%. To examine the Uniform Chart of Accounts analysis, you can select this link or select it in the Jump To section. This report illustrates the evidence for the scores earned in the scores report we just saw. You can see that there are $53 million of invalid UCA money and about 2,000 transactions that are invalid. And we can also view the same stats for the valid UCA transactions. The summary report illustrates the valid chart of accounts format, which includes the fund, function, and account codes. And we're also provided a list of the invalid codes for our test city. We can see all 49 invalid codes listed here. To examine what's specifically wrong with each of them, this table breaks it down. It provides the UCA code, the years it's present, the transaction types it has, the batches that are used, how many times it occurs, how much money is associated with this code, and specifically what issues are wrong with it. In this case, we can see that there is an invalid function code. The invalid digits are starting at the third digit, so we can see that it's good up to here, and at this third digit something goes wrong and it becomes an invalid code from this point, because it doesn't exist in our chart of accounts. And similar explanations are given for all the codes that are invalid. In order to improve your completeness score, you need to resubmit a report with valid Uniform Chart of Accounts codes. If you'd like to check your file before you submit, you're welcome to contact the Transparent Utah team and email them your Transparent Utah file upload you're attempting to correct.